Thank you, Curious, for selecting this talk. It forced me to do some project management that I hadn't. It forced me to learn some new things about GitHub project capabilities and features, and I'll share some of that with you. This is our student worker team. They're unicorns. I adore them all. So one of the goals was when we have a bigger team, we want to figure out how to track their issues and get them on board. We want to walk the walk, so to speak, and test this out. We definitely were super scared of having an embarrassing data leak. The UN principle of open by default is something that I'm excited by, but nervous about. I've talked to the UN about this, and they say, well, we don't actually open source everything. Well, it's aspirational, and that's what we're doing here. And then I want to get the students like the opportunity to learn a little bit more hands-on with GitHub. I come from like an agile development type, so it's hard to do sprints and stuff when you have undergrads working 10 hours a week, but we kind of have something along those lines. And then one other big goal, which we'll see how this goes, is to have easy reporting for Sloan and others, that we can wrap it up nicely and have all of our things tracked to our grant, what we said we would do in the grant. Challenges. I feel like I do program management in like fits and spurts. It's like, okay, I got some downtime. Let me go check all those GitHub issues. And so sometimes it's like my hair's on fire and I don't actually get to like creating the issue and doing things. But anyway, that's one of the issues. There's a learning curve. So our tech students picked it up really fast, and some of them had used it already. And then we have a comms and marketing, an undergrad and a grad. And then Rosemary, who is our project coordinator, is more on the comms and marketing side. Rosemary picked it up. She's incredible. Some of the students, it's taking them a little bit longer. Iterations are like the idea of a sprint in GitHub projects, and they're just kind of annoying, and you have to like manually set them up. So that's a challenge. If you don't fill in all the fields, and I'll show this a little bit, it gets like not as consistent. It's a little bit frustrating. And then like my workflow is weird. I use Logset to take notes on meetings, and then I'm in Slack and I'm in email, old school email person. And the students are like, who knows where they are. So like, anyway, all these tools are not nicely integrated. I'm waiting for like, the local AI RAG system that will just like read my mind, and then we'll solve that. This is Rosemary. I would love to keep her forever, but she's phenomenal, and our funding only goes till the end of June for her. So she's looking for a job. I highly recommend her other OSPOs. She helped me incredibly with the recruiting and the hiring. So we started this back in May using GitHub Project. It was just me and Rosemary, and we were getting like, okay, what do we need to do to hire 4 students? And that was a lot of work. So a lot of our early tickets were that. And let's see. So there's a lot of things. So some things these are kind of me taking like her words on the bottom box. There's this positive peer pressure thing that happens where everybody's looking at everybody's issues and can comment on everybody's issues and seeing who's being productive. And the power of that was really fascinating to both of us. And it kind of worked. And for me, it was like, okay, I can't be a blocker. I got to go in there and do the thing so that the student can, complete the issue. And then when you complete an issue and everybody knows, like, I don't know, there's like this high, and it's like such a positive feedback loop. It's really cool. I didn't expect that, but it's really fun. I was going to do a demo, but instead we're going to do slides, which is probably good because I would have gotten myself in trouble with the demo. Why are you nodding so big? So this is like the basic look of GitHub project. If you haven't seen it before, this is like the Kanban board, kind of the standard thing. It's really pretty intuitive, I think. I don't love using this for like our weekly status meetings. It's a little too much, and it's just it has nice capabilities. You can sort it by like people and by the iteration that you're in, so you can filter it and use it. We are just using like Google Notes and talking. And then one thing that we've done is we've created these. When we do our Google Notes, we have like a little actions thing at the bottom of our meetings, and we just translate those actions into tickets, and that's been working really well for us. This is what an issue looks like, and it's, you can just add comments on the side, and for the project part, we have like these are the things that some people don't always fill out. We don't always know, like the start date you kind of know, but I always forget to fill it out, and so I'm filling it out like a month later. I'm like, when did I start that? And then an end date's nice to like have a deadline. And if you do that, then there's Gantt charts, that capabilities that you can take advantage of. But we're hit or miss with that. Yeah, and so you get all the details here. And the best thing is that it's all tracked, so you can like go back and have a link to what you were working on. We often put a box link in. So one of the ways we protect the privacy and security is we try to put too much information. We don't want to share too many, especially students' names, things like that. We'll just say, go to the box note, which is our GW secured place where we can store that sensitive information. So the link won't work for anybody else. It'll just work for GW. Well, however we set it up. There's some cool insights capabilities that I thought I was just playing with that I really like. So you can kind of start to see so what we did was we set up our for our grant, we have a work plan. Lorena Barba put it together, and it's great. For me, like when I started the OSPO and for the follow-on, I know like what are my priorities, like over the 2 years of the grant. So I just created these as milestones, and then I link each ticket to these milestones. And this is where the reporting starts to come nicely in. You can see near the top, we're focusing right now on the GW open source conference that's coming up in March. We did a lot of work early on in the recruiting and hiring of the student ambassadors, open source community building. I don't know. I like talking and connecting, so that's something that I've been prioritizing. I don't have milestones for a bunch of the tickets. I still have some work to do. So you can start to see the orange is the things that are done. The blue means it's to do, and the green is in progress. So you sort of quickly at a glance, I know it's small, but you can get a sense of what we're working on, what our priorities are, what we've done. This is a really fun interactive chart. Because you can sort of see we started in May, and you can see these are the completed tickets and these are the open tickets, and we just had a lot. This is where we like loaded in a bunch of the recruiting and onboarding. Sorry, we did a bunch of first good issues for the students when they were going to start. So that was really nice. When they started, they were able to hit the ground running. Thanks to Kendall and to Daniel for like helping talk us through what are these good onboarding like issues that we should give them. So like the first month they were just doing onboarding tasks, and then after that they were like onboarded. They were like I would like let them talk to almost anybody about open source. They were great. So now they're doing like incredible work. We had 2 technical and 2 communications marketing. They set up Instagram. They host movie nights, they do tabling, they do technical projects with the UN. Like it's all over the place. It's so fun. This is just another insight chart. So this is each student. Mia, Sunil, this is me. I had a head start. They're catching up fast. This is Nuha, and this is Jude. And then this is Rosemary. So she's literally the most important person on our team. And this is like, I need to assign some tasks. David's got to get on it. And then this is sort of like a bonus thing that I'm really excited about, but we're testing out Zulip to see if we can switch from Slack to Zulip. And some random person across the globe, I don't know who they are, said, "Can I help you set up Zulip?" Because it's open. So we are like, we appreciate your help, but we have a secure instance that we're using, so we can't actually offer your help. But we pointed them to a whole bunch of other projects. Still waiting to hear back to if they'll join us, but we can actually collaborate with all of you or random people across the globe. So it's exciting. I'll just finish with this. I just heard this story yesterday. I think it happened a little while ago, but yeah. Okay, yeah. So Spain Supreme Court just made a big ruling about open source transparency. So I love the idea of radical transparency, and here's like a good example of somebody else who likes it. My favorite part is the court states that any public algorithm that affects people's rights must be transparent, and that neither national security nor intellectual property can be invoked as automatic shields for secrecy. Transparency, the judge writes, is not a technical detail, but a constitutional right inseparable from democratic accountability. So I'm like, yes, open source all the way, public, let's do it. And then, yeah, I'll just in closing, GitHub project management works great if you have a great team. It feels great to walk the open source walk. And I'm excited to see where this will lead and love to collaborate with